Huh, it works. And at the right bit rate. That's nice. So Tony said Debian. Well, that way we can get a view, I guess, an early view of what LMDE is going to be all about. So I don't normally set this up like this. It looks like I'm a little low. Let's try that. Dooby-doo. What am I trying to do? These don't normally go like this. I usually have someone to banter with, and I'm all alone. We'll see. I'll hop in studio and see how it goes. But something's up with my video. Huh. I need a reboot or something like that. Discord's being weird. I realize now I called it the mintCast Roundtable. And it doesn't even look like we need a table. It's just me. Hey-o. It's going to mess around with Debian a little bit. I think that's what the show topic is going to be about next time around. So I got me some Debian. I got me some boxes. And we'll see what I can break. Looks like it's just going to be me today. So, yeah. I'll be watching the chat like a hawk. Because that's about all I can get. If you are interested in Debian, talk at me a little bit. Woo! Welcome, welcome. Where's Debian fit on y'all's list of distros to use? Let me see if I can't get it going. Looking for Debian. There it is. Debian. Oh, Boxes doesn't have Debian 11 just yet. I don't think I can see it yet, but I'm tinkering with getting Boxes right to see if I can't get a Debian install going. There you go. You might be able to see that now. Hey-oh, sure enough. Kernel 5.10, long-term support. Ooh. How plasma of you. Okay. What are we doing? What are we plasming? Are we plasming? Aha. There we go. Now, how in the world? Let's see. Now, will this scale for me? Because what I would like is for it to sort of. There we go. I think that's it. How's it going, folks in the watching? Trying something out a little different this time. Usually I'll stream from a wholly different machine, so I can't really control what is shown on screen all the time. There we go. Come on, OBS. That's good enough. It's a little more difficult to actually do that. So today, and the reason I was doing it that way was simply because this machine that I'm on back here is always on Wi-Fi. So I didn't know how stable the connection was going to be. And I still don't know, actually, but it seems to be holding pretty well. YouTube complained about bitrate earlier, but I cranked it up. Seems to be doing okay. So, we're good. We're good. What I want, though, discard, is to figure out, not the desktop, I want that. There we go. There we go. So you're seeing what I'm seeing. This is my whole screen. Anyway, trying out Debian. I'm just going to tinker around with it. Oh my God, is that Conqueror? Oh my God, it is. Wow. I did not know Conqueror is still a thing. What is that about? I have network, right? Yeah. Yeah. So just undocumented error. So that's a good thing to be presented with, right? Okay. Well, it looks like it's okay. Anyway, let's install this bad boy. Oh, Debian, double click. Single click. Plasma is a single click. Let's see if I get a second Calamares. It's like that guy that keeps printing the page over and over and over again until the printer finally starts printing the first one, and then you have 50 copies of it coming out. Yep, and that was me. Always hate this. There we go. Chicago. Just do the whole thing. What do you got for me? 8 gigs of swap. I guess. Is that how much RAM I gave it? No. It's only got 4 gigs. All right, I guess. Anyway, in OBS, I meant to bring in my camera too. How you do that? Let's see. Window capture, video capture device. Let's bring that. Uh-oh. I broke everything. Hey-oh, there we go. Make me tiny. Oh, way down here. Here we go. Bam. Easy peasy. Do that to make it look like my hair doesn't look as horrible as it does. You can focus on my cool purple ear cups instead. Let's see. Yeah. What's the name of the computer? Debian, baby. Do. Install this guy. Did you check those partitions? Because I didn't. I just clicked go. And it went. Oh, it went. What I need to do, put it in Telegram. No, come back. I don't remember if I have mintCast Twitter on here or not. Oh, sure do. Do. There it is. A lazy stream today. Not gonna do a whole lot. Oh, wait. No, come back. Oh, that's kind of cool. So OBS can see, even if I minimize Firefox, it'll still keep a lookout. That's cool. It does make things kind of easy. Interesting. All right, Debian. There you go. Keep it going. Don't break on me, please. Hopefully a 20 gig disk is enough. I did a 32 gig disk, and it decided that 8 gigs was going to go to swap, even though there's only 4 gigs of RAM. So I guess double is the new standard. Double whatever your RAM is in swap is the new standard. All right. It's fine. It is interesting. Because I'm not showing everything in OBS, and it's just weird to see. So, anyway, enough of that. Debian. Do. So what is going on in Debian? Where do you go? I wanted to say that they were going to do some kind of revamp on the website. Did they do that? La 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 la. Where is... Oh, wow. Huh. A chart showing everything is from Git now. Man, this is some interesting stuff. I never even knew they did this kind of statistic. Well, if there's anything you want to see, y'all, just throw it in the chat. Because I'm just waiting for Debian to install. One of the main things I wanted to do is kind of figure out how easy it is to get Flatpak. Because I think that's really what Debian's going to have to lean on to do anything, right? I mean, I guess at the moment, most things are fairly new-ish. But pretty quick, things are going to get out of date. I mean, Telegram desktop is probably way out of date already. Let me see. Can you even see? What do we got? What's it called? Oh, there it is. Telegram desktop 2.6.1. So I've got Telegram here. I think it's 2.9, right? Oh, yeah, 2.9.2. So it is pretty far behind. What about things like Kden Live? 20.12. Is that right? What's current? Oh, okay, 21. Okay, I remembered it was 08. And that got me thinking, oh my God, Debian put in some like super new software. Nope. A whole major version behind. So 20.12. Ooh, I want to see. When did that come out? Older. Oh, this is kind of annoying. Older. Older. Oh, wait. Yeah, no. 20.12. Ah, oh, wow. Wow. So, right? Yeah. 20.08 was November. 20.12 is December. So, yeah, wow. So, Debian, when was the Debian freeze? So, some articles about it. This is around, oh, it just said it. Aw, it said it and then it moved. Maybe it's on the bottom. Ah, come on. Well, round week 29, whenever that was. Just go to Phoronix. Should always just go to Phoronix. They always have the answer. Freeze is coming up, which is... Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. If it was 12 January 2021, there wasn't enough time to get 20.12... Wait, no, .1. What is it? Oh, .3. Oh, wait, so they got in some... Oops, wrong way. They got 20.12.3 in there, which was March. So I guess bug fixes slipped in under the radar. But that... oh, yeah. That was the last Kden Live. All right. Well, I've started to use Krita as well. Krita's in here? Yeah. Sure enough. 4.4.2. How far back is that? Because 5 is about to come out. 5's in beta now. See, news. 4.4. What did I say? 2. 4.4.5. Well, you know, Credo's looking to be about as up to date as Caden Live. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, that's right. Caden's in the Epic Store. 4.4.2, almost. Back in February, looks like. No. 119, so right around the freeze time. Credo never got any fixes. Yeah, let me see. LibreOffice. Now, this is, well, no, I mean, it is pulling from the repository. I didn't do an update, but I assume it did. So I'll do an update in a minute, and we'll look at them all again. LibreOffice. There we go. Let's find. I passed it, didn't I? Where's Writer? Writer. 704? It's at least 7. Init org. Yeah. Yeah, 7.2. Where's news? What is? Oh, come on. I know there's a news. No? That's it. Posts. Maybe the official blogs. Got it. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. Okay, no. Wait. Maybe not. 7.2. Maybe I just missed it. Or it's not. I'm not there yet. You know what? I'm about to Wikipedia. Sorry about that. My mic is on the wrong thing. Oh, you know what it is? It's this. There. Now I won't cough in your ears again. All right, let me see. There's got to be a... Where are we at? History. Release history. All right, here we go. This is good. Where are we? What? Oh, there. Okay. Show it. Oh, too far. 7.0. August of 2020, and that makes sense. 7.1 was released in February, and the freeze was in January. So, yep, that makes sense. 7.0. It lines up with the freeze, so it is old, but... Oh, and this makes a big difference, right? 7.0 was around for a long time. And then, well... is that pretty normal? Like the initial release, January 31? Yeah, that's 8 months before 6.1. And then this is in August, and yeah, less than 8 months. That's less than 8 months, right? August, that's 4 and 6. It's 6 months. So actually, the cadence was actually a little bit faster here, but we missed it anyway. Missed the cutoff. I think what I read, it was January something earlier. January 12th. Yep. So almost a whole month behind. But 7.0 is all right. I mean, I guess when stability is your aim, and you can get it from Flatpak. I think that's the biggest deal. And Josue, I don't know if you were here a little while ago, but I was saying once I got it installed, which it looks like it did, yay. I'll head into Flatpak, do an update and all that kind of fun stuff, and see if maybe we got see what kind of newer stuff we can get. Because I mean, Debian is one of those like it or love it distros, right? I mean, one other thing, right? I mean, they said that they were going to be issuing out the non-free version of the Debian installer, so you don't have to go hunt and find all of the little GZ or zip packs for your particular firmware and then put them in the right spot and then blah, 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 all that. That's a good thing, but it's very prominently placed right here. Right here. For convenience for some users, this unofficial, in bold, alternative build. So, I mean, they're very clearly distancing themselves from it. And this is what I'm using. I'm using the KDE one. So I don't know what to think about that, really. Because I think most people need it. I mean, I don't know. I guess the real question is, are there a lot of Debian desktop users that use it primarily for the desktop and less for a server? That, I think, is one of the bigger questions that you're going to end up having to answer when you... I mean, and they would know, right? I mean, they have the stats. I don't know that they release any of those stats. Do they? Debian usage. Ah. Oh, okay, just a forum. Oh, God, that was back in 2006. That's a little old. So, yeah, doesn't really look like they post that kind of information, so I don't guess we would ever know. I mean, how much of the 1% of the desktop market share does Debian have when Ubuntu seems to be the Goliath in the room? See, that's not very welcoming. That did happen to me too. Is that a bug? I mean, is that a bug? Because you could very easily just go over here and search, stuff and it'll work. But the very first page you come into contact with in Conqueror just doesn't work. Like, what? Conk blank. Like, this is just a blank page. It's supposed to be, nothing is supposed to be here. This is what you get. That's not great. Joplin. So how do you install Joplin? Is it that's not in the repos, right? I mean, it would obviously be taken care of if it was in the repo. But I would imagine by now it would be fixed, right? Yeah, no Joplin. Flatpak? Is it installed by default? It is not. So let's see what we're dealing with here. Flatpak 1.10. I don't think that's too bad. 1.10 is the one that came with a bunch of speed up features. Flatpak. Flatpak. Hey, Yusef. How is it going? Just me today. And you and Josue are going to be my guinea pigs. I hope the stream is holding up well. So anyway... History? No. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't know they had a little history like this. So, wow, yeah, look at that. That's cool. See, who was the first to pull it in? Yep, there it is. Endless OS in 2016, 3.0. All right, I'm getting sidetracked. I need to find the version of just Flatpak versioning, see what we're at. Blog posts, probably. Ooh, what is this? Flat kill. What's flat kill? Is that a thing? Oh, the sandbox is a lie. I forgot about this. Yeah. That'd be an interesting topic to talk about. One command from the website. Okay. Well, let me install Flatpak because I don't know that it's installed, but I just need to install it anyway. I don't know if Joplin is available in Flatpak, but I need to install Flatpak anyway. So let me do that real quick, and then we'll do the necessary. You know what I meant to do is find out if that was an easy way to do it in Discover. My muscle memory just makes me do it in the command line. Let's see, settings. Oh, yeah, sure enough. Look at that. You sure could have. Well, that's nice to know. Cool. I'll have to, so Tony was talking about it, and he was saying he wanted to install it on bare metal. So I think I'll test that again on bare metal. Oh, yeah, you get Firefox ESR. It's not prominent, is it? No, but it's there. Conqueror's what's put in front of you. Okay, I'll do these updates in a little bit. Wow, not a whole lot. And 11's been out for a little while. So, just bug fixes, I know. All right, so let me reboot, and then we'll go get Joplin, and I'll test that for you. That's one thing that bugs me about KDE. I guess it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? I mean, it's really good and it's really bad depending on if you made a mistake or not. So when you hit restart, it just gives you a full-page thing of all of the options that you just had and chose one. So it kind of feels weird in Plasma to be like, yeah, restart, and then, yeah, let me make the whole choice again. Whereas in other desktops, it's, yeah, restart, and then it's basically a, are you sure? So I always thought that was weird, but I mean, it's fine. It was good. It was hot. So I live in Texas, so it's always hot. It'll probably be hot for a while. Oh, hey, look at this. The conch blank thing works after an update. So it just doesn't work in live. Okay, they fixed it. That's nice. But yeah, it was really good though. Had it at the park, outside, all that kind of good stuff in our current climate. So that was awesome. She got to play, got real sweaty, that whole thing. It was really good. Lots of gifts and lots of ice cream. So it was a really good party. Really good. All things considered. It was really good. Thanks for asking. All right, so, okay, fine. I've been telling myself I need to use the desktop more and stop using the command line so much. Not really for any other reason than it's easier for people to see what's going on if I don't do the command line. It's because the commands go in there really quickly. Just kind of fly across the screen, so. Okay, so you have options, which is good, but that's not what I'm here to do. Joplin. Hey, Clayton. Thanks for saying hi. Hey, oh, you can't search like that. Oh, wow. Thanks, Conqueror. Okay, Joplin app. So you asked, I would provide. It's not an app image, is it? Can be imported. Oh, you can use this with Nextcloud? Get out. Dude, are you kidding? Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get this straight. Does this work with Nextcloud Notes? Oh my god. I've been avoiding doing notes on mobile in Nextcloud because there's no free app on iOS. Oh wow. Okay. Okay, hold on. You're about to change my life. It is an app image. Okay. Downloads. And we'll stick it in there. That's fine. Huh. How weird is that? Conqueror doesn't just throw stuff straight in downloads. It puts it in your home folder. I guess it's maybe people really don't use desktops a whole lot, and the home folder is the natural place to put it if you don't. Time of day. Here you go. This doesn't work. There you go. That's the time of day. Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, that's the right time of day. There you go. Current time of day. All right, so I know what you're talking about now. Now that we bring that up, what distro was I on recently that had the same issue? I think it was Chaos, where I double-clicked on Bitwarden, and because of the sandboxing, it didn't work. So let's double-check the executable bit. All right, good to go. And moment of truth. Do it. Yeah, I think it's still broke. I think you got to do something to it. Oh, wait, no. Huh. Oh. Just took a little while. There you go. Well, Josue, I'm happy to announce the Joplin app image works just fine. So if you were considering using Debian and that was the one thing that was holding you back, well, bingo. It's fixed. It's good to go. So I think you mentioned a package. What did you say? Oh, okay. So maybe it was just that the Electron version or whatever needed to be updated. And maybe it was. And so it works. So hold the phone. This is Debian 11, Nishant. I'm trying and doing a very bad job of it. I should have chosen Cinnamon to kind of get a view of what LMDE is going to look like one day. Because, I mean, the packages that you get in Debian 11 are the packages that you're going to get in LMDE. So, why not? Yeah, sure. Give me a little bit before you hop in. Oh, I'm not even in Discord, so... Well, no, technically I am. Yeah. Okay, yeah, so last Saturday we didn't do it. Because I had a birthday to go to, and Joe was swamped with work. And then today, Joe's not feeling good. Tony is MIA, and I'm here. It's me. It's me. So a lot less banter this time around. But yeah, give me a minute. I'll head down to general, and that goes for anybody else in the live stream. If y'all want to join Discord, and I'll let you guys in. So yeah, Joplin. Works. It works. Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, Josue. Anything else I need to test? Y'all would be a better group to ask whether or not things are going well or not. So, and would LMDE ever actually be even a consideration for you? I think that's a good question. If you're using Mint, would LMDE fit the bill? So yeah, that's cool. So that must mean that Bitwarden would work as well, which is a good thing. No, you can't do that. I forgot. Bitwarden. Ubuntu is not based on a specific version of Debian. They're typically based off of a snapshot of Debian testing. So, sort of, I guess, would be the answer. It's okay. I guess you could consider it based off of a pre-version of Debian 12. That's what 2204 will likely be based off. Well, 2110 will be based off of testing branch as well. But that really kind of just depends on what the Debian package maintainers actually do between now and whenever Ubuntu feature freezes. So Ubuntu feature freeze 2110. I want to say Dan told me that that already happened. That already happened. Where is it? Ubuntu release date, feature freeze, August 19th. Yep, just happened. Yeah, because Dan on Linux User Space was telling me that he had just got done adding some additions to Lubuntu into the repository. So that's it. And it was right under the gun, right under feature freeze, which was about, I guess I would say last week, but not. Oh, yeah, okay. Last week, about 9 days ago. 9 days ago. So, yeah, and then when was Debian 11 released? So, I mean, to be honest with you, 2110 is probably going to be very close to Debian 11 because Debian 11's release was recent, 14th. Oh, you know what? Actually, Nishant, so what you said was not always true. It is definitely true this time. Because there was like 5 days between Debian 11 release. But Debian's feature freeze was way, way, way back. So Surely some stuff in testing has happened. Maybe, I don't know. No GNOME 30, no GNOME 40. It's GNOME 38, the latest point release, I think. Yeah, in Josue in a VM, it's gonna be really hard to test. But I mean, this is gonna be our topic, so I think what I'll do is I'll get it on my laptop, Debian 11, and then yeah, that won't be a bad idea. So I'll get it on my laptop. I'll put Debian 11 on my laptop, and then I've got so these are Bluetooth as well. They're not Sony, I know, but they're Audio Technica, which I mean, it's Bluetooth, it's audio. I imagine if there's something that's gonna break, it's gonna be Pulse or whatever Bluetooth stack Debian uses. What is it, Blue Z or something? That will be what explodes. So yeah, when I get it on the laptop, I'll let you know. I'll probably report back on the show on that one. So let me write that down. Actually, I need to write that. Yeah, if I don't write it down, I will definitely forget it. So test Bluetooth audio on Debian 11. Got it. So these are some things I'll test for y'all. Yep. I caught them on sale. They were $139, I think. These are the ATH M50Xs in purple with Bluetooth. But I was coming off of a $16 pair of cans. So I think these, until they literally break, will last me until then, until they break. That's kind of the idea. I really don't like buying things more than once. Well, okay, I take that back. I like buying things twice. Oh yeah, Josue, the mic. This has a mic. I'll test it for you. I'm not happy. I'm really not happy about it because it's terrible audio quality. It goes down to like trashy phone quality. What was I saying about? Oh yeah, so I like to buy things twice. I like to buy. So when I run into a situation where I'm like, okay, cool, I think I'm gonna do this long term, but I'm not really sure. I don't even know if I like it. So I'll buy like a crappy version of it just to get me by. And then so think of tools like this. If I need a screwdriver, I'll buy a crappy screwdriver. But if I use that screwdriver so much that screwdriver breaks, then I know that it's going to be worth my money and worth my time to buy a good, long-lasting version of that screwdriver that will likely not break in any near future, any definition of near future. So that's what I did. I bought it was a Tascam TH02, I think is what those were. I caught them on sale for $16. I put $8 extra in them to get more comfortable whatever these things. And they lasted me for about 2 years. I mean, I was using them for 2 years on mintCast to do recording and everything. And then I just got to the point where, well, my wife needed something because she has this little thing she can plug into a guitar and play and just go straight to the headphones instead of an amp. So it's like an amp replacement thing. So I gave her those so she could do that, and then I sprung for these. But she ended up getting some new ones as well. I don't think she's using those anymore. But now my daughter has those. So I really hate wasting as well. So I mean, all the hardware that I buy or all the hardware that my wife buys, it like trickles down between the family. We'll all use all of that stuff. So none of it ever really goes to waste. So it's usually worth the money, but in the case that it's not, we'll sell it or something like that. We usually don't just throw stuff away. 2110 will have 40. Oh, wow. So Ubuntu's going off script on that one, Norbert. Wow. Okay. Well, I mean, that's going to be a good thing because they're going to have to, I mean, actually, they didn't have a choice, did they? Because they were going to have to test for 2204. Because I know that they were pushing for GNOME 40 to be in 2204, so they're just going to be maintaining it themselves. But that does make me wonder, how do you look in the Debian testing repository? Debian testing repository. Is GNOME 40 in Debian testing? Oh, wait. There it was. Can I look? Those are builds. If y'all know the URL for Debian testing. Oh, is this it? No, I think that's just where you go to download stuff. Yeah, it's just the index. Nah, that's not what I want. Debian. You know what? You can kind of find out this way. Source. Oop. Right here. It'll be in bullseye. What? The wrong. Oh, I can't do that. Copy paste, man. Deb.debian.org/Debian. Can I just go there? Ooh. Here we go. Bullseye. Main. No. Because I know if you go to, instead of main, you go to testing. That'll work. But I don't see testing. So maybe testing doesn't exist yet. And they really did go, Ubuntu really did go out of band on that one. That's kind of cool, though. Yeah. Oh, Norbert, I was totally on the page. Straight up. Straight up says it right there. Yeah, let me see. Yes. Ryzen 5 Pro. Yeah, I want the T495, I think is what it is, to replace my T450, which is Intel. And the ISO that I'm using right now, Nishan, is the one with the non-free stuff. It's the unofficial. Really, Norbert, why did you like the M40X better? I mean, the big reason I went this over the what was the other one? Crap, I can't remember. They come with the little gray fuzzy ear cups. Behringer something or other, the 20 ohm or 40 ohm or whatever one it was of that. Was because this one had Bluetooth and a detachable plug, so that was nice. Wow, 6 years and still sold them for $110? Wow. Wow. State of Gnome 40 in Debian. What is this? Oh, status. Oh, wow. Norbert, you're amazing. So it's working. They're there. They're getting there. Okay. Some of the stuff is there. Looks like, let's see, GNOME, what is it, desktop? Yeah, they're on 40.2.-2. What does this mean? Arches. 1 of 1. So, okay. I guess they're not handling the other ones yet. Not up to date, lagging by a major version. But I guess that's not really going to matter too much to Ubuntu. They'll just pull in what is there and then patch it themselves. Because that's usually how they handle things. All right, I'll hop down to the... Hey. Let me see. I think... Oh, I got to turn desktop audio on. Oh, hang on. Somehow desktop audio is connected to the wrong thing. Default. There we go. Say something else now.
Hello?
There we go. Okay, cool. And I'm too loud. So let me bring myself down. Couple. And you can come up a little bit. Oh, no, not 5. 0.
I thought where you guys disappeared because I don't see you on this channel anymore.
No. I'm still around. I just this has just been busy these past few everythings.
No, I'm talking about you guys not using mintCast general to like talk during shows.
No, that was just me. I just clicked the first one because nobody else was here.
Night. I mean, the last week's show with Joe and everyone.
Oh, right. That's what I was mentioning before. I had a birthday. Joe was working, so it just lined up that we couldn't do it.
Sunday one. I'm talking about the Sunday show. Like, you don't use mintCast General anymore. The voice
Oh,
channel.
right, yeah. For the show, I think we always meant to use the studio one because we're recording and we have a backup recording going on in Discord as well. That way we get as clean a recording as we possibly can. But
Okay.
yeah. So
So
what were
I
you?
tried. I'm on Endeavor now. Back to Endeavor eventually
Oh, that's
after the
cool.
straw hopping.
Yeah, that's what I was using Endeavor hard mode. I was doing Arch proper. The past month really is what was going on, and I enjoyed it, man. That's actually the reason I chose KDE Plasma on Debian 11 here because I had been using it already, so I'm kind of familiar with where things are.
Plasma is fine, but I love Ubuntu Mate.
Yeah, Mate's good. I mean, especially because it's what I learned a lot on. I think GNOME 2 has been the I don't know, it's been the widest used for a long time. They've been fighting with Plasma for the longest time. It seems like GNOME 1.
But on AMD hardware, it's totally legendary, I would say. Ubuntu version of uh, Ubuntu flavor. Like
On
it, battery life is just amazing.
Oh wow,
On
yeah.
my AMD hardware, the latest new AMD hardware.
Well, that makes sense because the Mate desktop isn't um, graphically accelerated, right? I mean, there's no animations, at least on by default.
Yes, that's right.
So it'll use the graphics card a whole lot less. It'll save battery. I don't know. I would trade 20 minutes of battery for nice fades when I minimize things.
Oh, best thing, like I use Zorin OS for a couple of days, is the jelly mode. I don't know where they get that from.
Oh yeah, it was nice back in the day. This is so I guess it would have been around 2002, 2003 maybe, because that's when Barrel, the cube thing, the desktop cube and the wobbly windows and all that stuff came out. Compiz, I think, was the compositor, and that's what it allowed. It, I mean, that was the thing, right? I mean, it allowed you to just jiggle everything, so it was really kind of cool.
Oh, and one more thing. Talking about Compass, it does not work very well on my system. I tried the Fedora Mate Compass.
Oh yeah.
So I enabled Compass and it was like going all those, pixels, like green pixels.
Oh, really? So there was it was
Yes,
artifacting. It was not
yes.
displaying correctly whatever it was supposed to be displaying. That's bad. Huh. I
Like
want.
the Compass animation was like pixelating all over the place,
Well, I
like
think
green color.
didn't Compiz get dropped development wise a long time ago? I have no idea. I just remember hearing something like that.
No, Fedora is using it for its Mate desktop. Let me just share the link with you.
But is it an active development though? I mean, bug fixing maybe, but are they? Oh wow! It never made a 1.0 release.
It's just a Fedora spin. I don't know. Maybe for Fedora spins, they're maintaining it.
That's likely what's happening, I guess. Latest stable 8 dot, and this was not. Oh, the latest stable is April 2011, so it might be true.
Eh,
What is this?
Here I
This
send the
is
link on general public chat.
yeah. Look at this. The dot 9.13.0 was released in 2016. So Fedora must be patching it or doing something with it. I don't know, but yeah.
Mhm.
No, that's cool though.
Something called Compass Fusion on Fedora
Right,
Mate plus Compass.
right. But Compiz was the second one. Compiz forked from the original thing, I think, right? That sounds right. I don't know.
I think it was Ubuntu, right? From what I read, Ubuntu used to use Compass way back.
Mm-hmm.
2008 or something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, back when it was actually developed. So I guess Compass is here in Debian, right? Let me see.
I don't know what is Fedora doing exactly. I expected it to be like Linux Mint Mate or something like that.
Oh, definitely not like Linux Mint. It's more like Debian because it doesn't come with anything. I mean, just the very basics to get things started, but I mean, it doesn't have like audio codecs, video codecs. It doesn't have anything non-free. So just like with Debian, I mean, if you just grab the normal ISO, it doesn't come with anything. So you have to pretty much, I guess it's like Arch after you get it installed, or
Exactly.
more like Endeavor, right? I mean, you have to go and add things to it to actually make it run the way you expect it. What the way you expect Ubuntu or Linux Mint to run. So, yeah, there's work involved.
Yeah, now I need to learn how to keep the rolling release stable without crashing my whole Windows installation as well.
It doesn't seem to me like it was too hard. I mean, the I was using Arch for a month and nothing happened that would have needed to change. So really, the only thing that you got to do is go to Planet. Is it Planet Arch? Planet Arch Linux. This and
Can you
just
share that link over?
yeah, sure. Because this is where they will announce game-breaking changes.
Okay.
Oh, so it's just games. Are there? No. Hold on. Let me see. Applications. No, no games. I don't think, right? Like they're not just hidden somewhere in here, right?
Which game?
Josue said there were some games pre-installed. I wonder if it's different on the other ISOs, like the non. This is the non-free ISO that I installed from. I wonder if the free ISO is different.
I
Miscellaneous?
haven't
I don't
tried
know.
yet.
Yeah, I don't know. Nope, I'm not seeing any. Honestly, I was about to play K Mahjong if it did. Oh,
K
you know what?
Mojang. Clone of Mojang, is it from
Yeah,
Windows?
yeah. Uh, Josue, that might be a GNOME thing. What desktop environment did you install?
On Endeavor, GNOME 40.3.
And Josue, with the games, what did you install?
I didn't check the games because there's
Oh,
no, like, it does not install by
oh,
default.
no, no, no. Josue was saying in chat that Debian came pre-installed. Yeah. Okay, so it's GNOME. Blame. Well, you can't blame GNOME. So yeah, I was about to say blame GNOME, but you can't do that because Debian is the arbiter of that. Cause
Debian is dad of Ubuntu, I think, and you can't blame the dad, can you?
oh, are they? I don't know that they are. Cause
Actually, Ubuntu is based on Debian, right? So Debian is
yeah,
the universal Linux.
it seems to be the biggest. I think Arch is the other. Because
Arch,
there's not a whole lot of anything based on Fedora besides Fedora spins, and not a whole lot of things based on OpenSUSE. And it seems to me to be Debian is probably the biggest granddaddy of them all, and then Arch is trailing behind because they've got things like Endeavor and Arco and Garuda and a bunch of other projects. So, but Debian is the one. It's Debian all the way
I have
down.
had I have had worst experience with Garuda. It used to use up like my whole 4 GB of RAM on my old laptop
Wow.
almost.
Oh, this is a
Garuda,
blast from the past. Emerald. This was part of it. This is how you were able to do the flippy floppy jiggly wiggly things in using Compiz and everything. You had to have Emerald, and I
exactly.
think maybe Emerald turned into Barrel or Barrel turned into Emerald. I can't remember.
Fedora Spin has Emerald theming engine as well. I forgot to mention.
That's cool. That's pretty cool.
But I wonder how Fedora is maintaining that compass when it's like 5 years now since they stopped working on it.
I mean, if it doesn't crash all the time, or even if it does, you know the workarounds. So they've probably patched those workarounds directly to it, and they just run a patched version of it. I really don't know. Just me guessing more than anything.
I don't know. I want to settle with one distribution, but I still cannot decide. So I'm keeping Windows as a backup just in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah, I mean, I do anyway, just because sometimes there's software that you need that is only on Windows. So I don't worry about it too much. I'm more of a practical guy than a
But
100%
I
staunch
mean,
freedom guy. 90%.
I'm like I'm like the biggest advocate of Linux in my group.
Oh, I'm definitely that too. But I mean, practicality tends to reign supreme here because we've got a
They
mix of
got
everything.
one of my first friends who I migrated to Zorin. He got so frustrated from setting everything up that he went back to Windows.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. That's one of the biggest things about getting people over to Linux in the first place is that nobody expects that it's going to be more work, and people don't want to put in the time. They already know how Windows works, so they're expecting it to be either as easy as Windows or the exact same way to handle things as Windows, and it's not. And so, yeah, I mean, it gets frustrating, and people leave.
Especially compatibility of software, I think.
Well, that's a big one. I mean, that's most people's argument as to why they don't come over to Linux full time is that, oh, my games don't work, oh, my Photoshop doesn't work, oh, my this, that, whatever doesn't work. I mean, there are workarounds,
Speak-
but those are workarounds. It's not native or anything, so it makes a big difference.
Oh, hi Norbert, how are you doing?
Hello, hello. Speaking of the
Hey,
devil,
there you
speaking
are.
of the devil, I'm on Windows because I have Premiere Pro open. I'm overly dependent on Adobe stuff, sadly.
Ah,
But
We totally understand, man.
yeah,
yep. And I was actually considering getting Kden Live and Krita and Audacity filled in with all my plugins on Windows just to see how it worked, if it worked any better than it does on Windows, or I mean than it does on Linux, or not. But one of the things that's kept me away from it is the Audacity stuff. The what is it?
Privacy thing.
Yeah, all that stuff. I mean, it's fine. I don't really care that much, but it's the principle of the thing. So sometimes principles reign. But at least with Kden Live and with Krita, I can use that without worrying about them stealing all of my info.
So if you consider Chrome OS as Linux based, so Linux has 12% of the market share
Is that true?
because Chrome OS alone has 10% something. If you remember, I shared that article from 2020.
Wow. Let me
is it
see.
that high?
Yeah, Chrome OS is second, first is Windows, third is Mac, fourth is Linux. Top four.
Wow. Hey, let's see. Net market share. Let's see. And then there's GS Stat Counter. See if they agree. Chrome OS is that dark blue? This doesn't agree with that, but let me see. What about this
2020.
one? What is this, current or something? Oh, wait. Yeah. 2019 to now. Well, last month. So 2020 would have been here-ish. And it looks like Chrome OS never made it past 0.4 something. But I mean, it's not like you have amazing visibility into all of this stuff. It's just
No,
what people see on the browser when you hit websites and things. So none of this is, 100% true either. Let's see, 2020.
because during the pandemic, people bought more Chrome OS laptops compared to Mac or Windows.
Yeah. Wow. Android surpassed Windows? What is that on like, what is this on?
Is it everything?
I assume so. Yeah, you know what? It must be mobile and desktop at the same time. Just all operating systems all together because you've got OS X and iOS here. But yeah, oh wow. So they have Mac at 7% of the entire market, Linux at 0.8 of the entire market, and Unknown took a huge dive.
Okay, in the general chat, second quarter 2020, Chrome OS was 10%.
In general. Oh, wrong general. Where? Can you link the article that came from?
Okay, just one.
I'm just curious. Ooh, hey, I like this. It's all animated and stuff. Ugh. See, again, I have to go in here. Inactive, inactive, inactive.
So
Confirm my
this is
choices.
Gentoo based OS, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, interesting thing about Chrome OS, how did they make it run just based on a web browser engine?
but the
Chromium is a web browser engine, right? Sorry to interrupt.
no. I mean, a browser is an operating system now. I mean, I think I've mentioned that on the show before, but they're as complex as operating systems are, minus the hardware. Let the kernel handle the hardware, and then use Chrome OS to handle everything else, or Chrome to handle everything else. And I mean, it's true, right? I mean, you've got entire word processing desktop applications, right? You've got the Windows version of them. You got Office, Word, and all that stuff, and then you've got the Google Drive version of them. You've got tons of options. You've got Nextcloud. Everything is available to you in the browser. Just about. You have audio editors in the browser. You have image editors in the browser. Everything. So, I mean, with the power of JavaScript, you, you can.
JavaScript is one language which developers hate, in my group at least, in my group of student devs.
Bah, everybody hates the big dog, and JavaScript runs the internet. So, I mean, they get a lot of hate just simply because that's what you're forced to learn if you actually want to be valuable. But I mean, and this is just to go get a job, right? But if you care, I don't know. I think there's a lot more mind share behind Python, but Python doesn't render directly in the browser. You have to have some kind of translation layer to handle that. And guess what the translation layer is written in?
JavaScript.
Yeah. So you can't get away from it. But okay, so
What
this one
about
says, oh, let me see.
what
Okay,
is the scenario of system admins these days?
I don't know. They're still pretty in demand. I teach a lot of them, so it's kind of important for me to to keep an eye on that. But yeah,
Especially open source and Linux system admins.
I mean, to be honest with you, no. Much less than a Windows administrator. But I tend to think that Linux admins care more about how things work than their Windows counterparts, so they tend to be able to troubleshoot a little bit better, and that translates into a better admin overall, I think. But I mean, if you want a job, you got to have Windows on your resume. So I think it's important to know both.
Dang it. I am thinking of going purely Linux side.
And I say that it really kind of depends. I mean, because a lot of what we need around here are, just your basic system admins. I mean, you either need to do like remote desktop type stuff where, there's thin clients all over, say a hospital or something like that. There's thin clients that you
Yes.
need to be able to bring up and then log into, this particular application and then input all your data, whatever that is. And a lot of times those particular things are run on Windows. So the thin clients run Windows, but in the back end, you have something like VMware, you have something like KVM or QEMU, you have something like Citrix. So, I mean,
Correct.
you do need to know Windows. I mean, this is a Windows world. You don't get around it. But having those other skills are really important, especially if you want to move beyond desktop support. So,
I
there's
am in desktop support right now, which is the lowest rung of the system administration career
right.
path.
And you move up. The whole point is to I guess learn more skills so that you're more valuable to the company and then get hired into different roles or just move companies, one of the two, and into a different role.
So
But
what is the like status in the United States for like foreign, like do they employ foreign people, or
Mhm.
you need bona fide US citizens in the IT industry?
If I remember correctly, it's basically you have to try to hire an American first, and then if you can show an actual need to basically mint a visa for somebody to come over, you can do that. But there has to be a genuine need shown first. So it does happen. I don't know how often it happens because I don't live in an area where that happens a lot.
Okay, that's fine. I was just inquiring, like in
Look
2 or 3
into
years, I want to move to US.
okay. Look into the H-1B visa.
I will look into that, but like what I'm thinking is like come on a visitor visa and then look for a job. Will
Oh
that
yeah,
be
yeah, yeah.
difficult?
I don't know. I can't speak to that. I'm not sure.
Okay. But I can try that, like whatever 3 months or whatever duration is there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right,
If I
right,
get hired, fine.
right.
If I don't get hired, I can try again next year after coming back.
Yeah, I think in my area, the largest foreign segment we have are all refugees.
Which state are you in again?
Texas.
Right on the border.
No,
Almost on the border, I mean. Like it's bordering Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. The
Texas is huge.
state.
So yes, a lot of Texas does border Mexico, but a lot of northern Texas, I mean, we're hours and hours and hours away from
Are
that.
you
But
near Dallas?
sort of, I guess I'm a bit west of that. But in our refugees are not. Well, I guess some of them are, but the bulk of the refugees that I see get employed in system administration tend to be African. So, and I say that I don't know exactly which African country they're from,
No,
but
okay. I was just asking the general demographics of
right, right.
like international life.
The ones that I do know what country they're from, they're typically from Nigeria.
Oh, and they in the previous company who had a project with Microsoft where I used to work, they sent their project to Nigeria. MS sent the Office
Mm.
365 support to Nigeria. Would you believe it?
Ah,
And
wow. So,
now they're having trouble training them properly for Microsoft support.
well, I think that's just yeah, it's tough. It's always tough
I
when
mean,
it's
they
not in
shouldn't
house.
have taken it from an already established contract with Wipro Technologies
Well,
to a new place.
I think a lot of times it's just a business decision. It costs less, and then they realize it doesn't quite cost less. But then once you get everything set up and stable, it does cost less. So, I mean, it's purely business.
Okay, one more thing. India, you know the reason companies come to India and set up their support
I
is
suppose it
it's
costs
cheaper
less.
here.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Then why would they take it to Nigeria where it costs even less, maybe?
I mean that's the general idea, but surely there's more to it than just it costs less. I'm sure there was a whole stack of paper this big describing why the benefits of doing all that kind of stuff. So
Oh, and one more suggestion. We should name this off-topic stream.
yeah, it's just mintCast Roundtable. We never defined what it was gonna be. It could be whatever we want it to be. I guess
But
it's still
Sundays are defined, right? Sunday streams are defined, I believe.
Yeah, they are. Well, sort of. I mean, the biweekly wanderings is whatever. The news is the news. Security is also security. But the Linux Innards is whatever we decided it was going to be. So that is set. Check this out is pretty open, and the feedback is just whatever we've heard. I'm trying to mine more from like the public channel here in Discord, in Telegram, in places like that. Just simply because there's a lot of really interesting conversation that happens a lot of times that doesn't really get covered on the show, which is kind of a shame. So,
And I'm very much, I would like to thank you for featuring my link in one of the past shows.
oh yeah, of course. I'm glad to do that.
Okay.
That's one thing that I like to do is if you are the one that's sending the link, I want to make sure I shout you out on that because I mean, I didn't do that work, somebody else did. So, make sure they get some credit.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, coming to Linux, I'm like closely following the kernel development. Exciting times for the Mac M1 chip.
Oh my god, what's her name? Rosenzweig. Alyssa, I think.
Asahi Linux developer, I think.
Mhm. What is her
Can't
name?
wait. So this is the right time to buy a Mac.
Yeah, I
believe,
almost
for
did a few
myself.
months ago. But I decided not to, for the same reason I decided not to buy a Steam Deck. I wanted to wait until everybody got their hands on one and I could really see what was going on.
Steam Deck is awesome. So can we expect Linux gaming support to take off now?
No. we can see
No, like
Proton. We're going to see Proton support come up. That's what we're going to see. And that's good. That's
Yes.
still great.
Then this is the reason. This is maybe the reason I may completely switch to Ubuntu or something to play, like to run Proton.
Well, if you're going to run, if you want to try to stay as close to Steam Deck and the compatibility as you can, you might want to try running, stay on Endeavor. Just find the desktop environment that you like the most. Get Endeavor.
No, but GPU switching is such a headache. I don't have an Intel chip.
Oh, yeah. Well, wait. I thought you had an AMD chip. I thought that's what you were saying before.
Yeah, I don't have an Intel chip, so the prime switching does not work on AMD yet.
Oh, I see. I see. Okay, okay. I think I misunderstood you earlier. That makes sense. I mean, what I would buy, I mean, in my opinion, what I would buy is just one of those chips with the graphics built in where there's no switching at all. I made that promise to myself back in 2009 when I bought an HP laptop and it had what you're talking about. And I think it was called Bumblebee back then. It was trash. It never worked. And when it did work, you had to reboot every single time you wanted to switch. So it was not great. And then that particular laptop, like, it had three speakers, two up firing and then one down firing that was bassy. And then that speaker would just never work. So in Linux. But it worked fine in Windows. I didn't have to even install a driver, and it worked in Windows. So I was very disappointed with HP, and that's what led me to buy the ThinkPad that I have because I knew, the speakers aren't going to be great, but at least they're going to work. And
Correct.
one other thing about the HP is that the brightness didn't work. So I had to go in, I think into Grub, and then let it was like ACPI something about like let the BIOS handle it or something, whatever, and then it would work. So, but what's funny now is it's just a server for me now, so the screen stays off. So
Okay, for the problem with ACPI underscore HCI is sometimes on
that's
some
the one.
distros it does not work for me.
Right. And I totally get that. It's not Alyssa. What is her name?
Rosenberg. Let me
Yeah, it's
tweet for you.
Rosenzweig or Rosenzweig, something like that. But let's see. If we go to Asahi, I'm sure they have retweeted her. Ah, that's it. Oh, ROS. I thought it was a Z. Haha. Anyway, so she has been doing amazing work with the graphics stack. I think that's the last major hurdle that the M1 chip has before it really starts to shine on Linux. She got Debian working on it, which is pretty impressive. Here it
Imagine
is.
one of us trying that out and scratching our head in confusion.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't even know where to start. I'm not a hardware hacker. But she and
No, I mean just doing it the normal way through Parallels on Mac OS.
running Linux.
Yeah, it won't run, or will it just throw an error? That's what I haven't.
I think Parallels works now.
No, now it works. I'm talking about early stages of.
Oh no, it
them
didn't work.
support.
No, it just didn't support anything. Parallels just wasn't supported on Mac. The M1s, but now it is. So you can do whatever you want to with it now.
So we have to use the ARC64 version, ARC64 version, I think, of Debian.
Oh, for the M1,
M1.
yeah, the ARM version. Look, it says right. Oh, I thought it did.
So I
Oh
just
yeah,
discovered one thing. I just
AR64.
discovered one thing.
Mhm.
The Snapdragon chips in our phone are just ARM Cortex chips.
Oh really?
Like, yes,
That's funny.
like it's a package of different Cortex A series chip. Depending on which Snapdragon you use, there are different models of Cortex.
Right. Well, that's super cool, man. So yeah, Parallels will work if you want it to, but it's not real Linux.
I want to get a Pine phone, man. Seriously now. Or a Raspberry Pi for that matter.
Yeah, well, Joe has the Pine phone now. I don't know. I'll get to tinker with it eventually.
I think he has a Pine Time. Or
Oh.
something like that.
No, it's the phone.
Somebody was talking about Pine Time, like the watch.
Oh, I think that was Josh. Josh got a Pine Time and he's been tinkering with it, but we got some feedback about a month or two ago from Jeff, who had an extra Pine phone and he said he was going to send it to us. So Joe has it. He got it a couple of weeks ago, and he hadn't had much time. I mean, the whole work thing is really kind of holding him back, but that's the idea. He's going to try putting a few different operating systems on them and doing all that kind of fun stuff. So
I saw that Charles Titus YouTube channel.
oh, Chris.
He put like
Chris.
yes, Charles, yeah, Chris.
Chris
He has like 10 different distributions on a micro SD running on Pine phone. 64.
Wow, that's pretty cool. So, that looks like a good beer. I need one of those. All
So
right.
what you have been running, Leo, this week?
What have I been what?
Which OS have you been running this week?
I can't say. It's a surprise for Linux user space. I can't give away the surprise. But I have been using Arch. So I mean, obviously I'm on Linux Mint. It's still
How's the battery life? Is it going good, or are you using it on a workstation?
it's on
Like
a laptop.
fixed workstation?
It's on a T450S. It is decent. I did not, just for the sake of figuring out what it would be like without it, I did not install TLP, and I'm getting about 5 hours of total battery life.
Oh,
With, I mean, is that a good or a bad sigh?
good.
Oh,
That's
good.
that's surprising. I get 2 hours on vanilla Arch, but in Endeavor I get 5 hours with the Arch kernel, stock Arch
Wow,
kernel.
wow. Yeah. And but I have an Intel chip, and that's it. I don't have any kind of graphics card or anything on that. It is just an Intel chip with Intel graphics. So I imagine that has a lot to do with it. Battery life would have been better had I never changed my display. I went from a 900p to a 1080p display. But I try to keep the backlight as far down as I can at most of the time. So I mean, typically, unless I'm outside, I'm at like 35% backlight. And if I'm in a dark room, I crank it all the way down to 1% backlight. So that is probably a big reason why I have such good battery life. If I were to put it at 80, 90, 100%, I mean, yeah, 3 hours, 2 hours maybe. But
Because it's like difficult to figure out what did you do wrong in the installation of
yeah.
Arch. Like
No,
if you do it from command line.
not really. I mean, honestly, I think the command line installation is easier to figure out what's going wrong because you know exactly what you installed. That was my takeaway from Arch in general. And honestly, I'm already giving away secrets, right? I mean, the episode hadn't dropped yet, but that was my big takeaway was that Arch is good as long as you are at least an intermediate, if not advanced user, because you know exactly what went into it, and that makes it way easier to figure out what you did wrong because I mean, if you didn't install TLP, that explains why you're getting 30 minutes less battery life than you expect, or CPU. It sounds weird, but like CPU freak, right? Short for CPU frequency. That thing to keep your CPU kind of lower than, not boosting all the time and chewing up battery. And that was one of the thing. Thermal D was more of a don't let it explode on you kind of issue. So yeah, I mean,
Well,
between CPU freak and TLP, I think you are in a really good situation to get at least 30
I
minutes
think
to
I
an
made
hour.
a mistake in Endeavor installation. Never install Endeavor with proprietary drivers. That may be the reason why it's so bad with battery life.
You have NVIDIA video card? Wait, did you say
Yes, I have
uh,
NVIDIA GTX 1650.
first time I tried installing Endeavor with an NVIDIA card, I did proprietary drivers in the installer, and I couldn't, they didn't work properly. So I ended up installing it with the open source drivers, and then I installed the proprietary NVIDIA drivers later, but it's different than on Arch because Endeavor has its own NVIDIA driver uh,
Oh.
installer thing. So at first I tried to do it like I would since it uses the Arch repos and it didn't actually do anything. So my takeaway is that for some reason, if I chose to have it installed by default during the installation, it wouldn't work for some reason.
Well, ARC teaches you how to like troubleshoot your own problems. Like any Arch-based distro, not only vanilla Arch.
The good thing
Right.
about Endeavor is that in the installer there's a group for base devel packages and some extra packages. So even if it uses the Calamares installer, you can see the exact list of packages going to install. So if you have access to a list of packages, you can sort of troubleshoot easier than if you were installing something like I don't know, Manjaro.
Mm.
Leo, did you mean auto CPU frac?
Yes, that's the
Uh,
one. That's the one.
did you try it?
I didn't. So I want to do a couple more things before I leave. Well, not for good, but leave Arch for the distro we'll talk about later in Linux user space. But I wanted to install TLP and then Auto CPU Freak just to see what kind of battery life I'm getting there as opposed to without any of that stuff. So yeah.
Okay.
Hopefully it's gonna be pretty good. I assume it will.
Let me guess the base. Is it a Ubuntu, like Debian based distro?
Auto CPU Freak?
No, the one which you're going to talk about.
Oh,
Don't
yeah.
reveal it.
I
Don't
was going to
reveal it.
ask one thing. Is it independent? Is it independent or is it based on something?
It's based on something.
Debian.
Yeah.
It's probably Debian, but
Well, I mean, everything's based on Debian, so I guess that's not too much of a leap to say. But, too much of a leap to say? No, not that one. But, yeah,
you
what,
got me for a second.
yeah,
Leap.
what kind
Leap.
of distros would y'all like to hear about?
OpenSUSE.
Oh, we already did OpenSUSE. We did Tumbleweed
Okay.
way early on. Let me see.
No, I want you to cover like OpenSUSE as a system admin distribution,
Oh, so
not
like,
the general.
so Leap then, not Tumbleweed.
Yes.
Yeah, episode 7, Yost Queen. That's when we did OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. Okay, I mean, I've been kicking around the idea of doing CentOS, CentOS stream.
CentOS.
See if you could even get by as a desktop. Would it work, and how well would it work with Flatpak? I think it'd be as good as Debian, to be honest. But I don't know. I've never tried it.
I've just tried it for 1 hour and it feels like Red Hat Enterprise 8.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I use 8 as a server, but yeah, I just don't know. I mean, certainly things would work, right? But Josue was talking about Joplin not working because of the version of Electron. I think it was the version of Electron, but that might also be an issue in CentOS 8 because of the versioning. So maybe, but yeah. So yeah, if you got ideas, throw them at me. And then
Sort of torn between wanting to see more about very user-friendly distros and very minimalistic distros, because I've been kind of looking for the perfect distro that I can recommend to people who are either wanting to come over from Windows and want to get into Linux, or just want to come over to Linux and not get into the technical parts of things. And my biggest problem is package availability.
Yep.
Okay.
So I would like to have an episode of Linux User Space where the main topic is native packages versus universal package managers.
Right.
And
yeah. And I think we take the stance that, I mean, we just try to get the package, and it doesn't matter to me how I get it. But that is one of the focuses of this next distro, the next month, because the particular distro.
Wait a second. Is it the one I'm thinking it is? Is it the one that has both Flatpaks and snaps integrated into the software store?
No, it's not that one.
So it's not Zorin.
No. Oh, Zorin would actually be a really good one. I wanted to do Zorin as well.
My review of Zorin, it's awesome, and you can get the Windows layout in that.
Yeah. So Zorin is one that I've never actually used for any length of time, but I've always wanted to use it because of that, because of its pragmatism. It's just, here's everything, just install it, and it'll work, right? I mean, snaps, whatever, Flatpaks, whatever.
Yeah, but I don't use snaps. It's pretty insecure, they say. Quality-wise.
I mean,
so didn't you say that they are slow?
Well, they're slow on the startup. That's about it. If you, what I don't understand is why, and it may be a technical limitation that I'm just unaware of, but I don't understand why they don't just load up the top 5 most common snaps that you as a person use on a daily basis and just uncompress them and load them in the background. So when you click on them, I mean, I'm looking at you, Chromium, and it's already preloaded. So when you click it, it doesn't take literally 12 seconds to open.
Wait, Chromium Chromium and Chrome are different because, or both use same RAM, like same amount of RAM.
I would assume Chrome uses more because it has the Google integration stuff built into it. But I don't know. I don't use either of the browsers. I take that back. I use Chromium to handle all the mintCast stuff. That's the only time I use Chromium, but I don't use it enough to I have like 3 tabs open, so I don't use it enough to be able to say, oh, Chromium is really heavy or something like that. But I use other Chromium based browsers like Edge and Brave,
Brave. Brave is
and
nice.
yeah,
I Brave is what got me to move away from Chrome this year. It
yeah,
was nice.
yep. And it was me from well, really just kind of browser hopping. Firefox is my main, pretty much on every platform, no matter what I'm on. But I needed something back as a backup because sometimes Firefox won't render things properly, and I'll need a Chromium-based browser, and Brave is pretty much where I landed.
Oh, and Leo, I converted my Windows, like I have a Windows install with OpenOffice, Firefox.
Oh,
Like I converted it into open source, like use open source software wherever I can
yeah, that's
in
pretty cool.
Windows.
I mean, that's what I do in Windows too. I mean, that's why I was wanting to test Krita and Kden Live, because I didn't want to use a proprietary solution. I have what I think is Magix now. It used to be Vegas, Sony Vegas Pro, and Magix bought it, so I have that to do video editing for Linux user space. But I'm actively trying to not use it and use something free and open source. But I mean, if it comes down to it, I'll use it. Just I would rather use something free and open source first.
Hey, Kden Live is there for Windows?
Yeah,
No,
that's
right.
the beautiful thing about all the K apps. Just about every single major K app is available in Windows, and most of those are also available in Mac. So
Sweet.
I love that about that. So when I go to Windows, when I have to use Windows, I can still mostly be free and open source except for underneath.
But it is lagging in Windows. It's 21.04.3 latest.
Is that
Last
true?
release.
I could have
Yes.
sworn they had 21.08. I could
And
have sworn I just saw it. Let me see.
oh, okay, it's released like 13 days back. I just saw. Yeah, it is
Yeah,
there.
there it is.
Sorry.
There it is. And I was thinking about using the standalone version, but I don't know. I'll probably install it.
What is the difference between standalone and just
Uh,
normal install?
the installer puts stuff in like program files and program data and everything. Standalone, you can put it into a directory, and all of its configuration will be dropped into that directory, so you can move it from computer to computer. So portable.
It's
Like
portable.
portable.
Yeah.
I mean, more portable than an app image, I guess, because app image also puts stuff in dot files and stuff. But so on the Mac thing we were talking about a little while ago, Jose was talking that he bought a MacBook and misses Linux. And so he's looking to trade in or sell the Mac for a System 76 laptop. Do y'all have any Linux first laptops?
Dell Vostro 3558.
Okay, yeah, I'm a ThinkPad, so it's not Linux first. It's just very Linux friendly.
Something that was designed with Linux in mind, or no.
Yeah.
I actually realized that I don't even have a good reference of how shorter battery life is for me on Linux versus Windows, because I have a tablet and a laptop. Both I have Arch on both of them, and I never actually tested. I
Wait,
got both of them used secondhand.
which tablet?
Funny thing, I chose to get a used Microsoft Surface Pro 3
Oh yeah,
because there's a community maintained Surface kernel. So
Yep. So
ironically enough, the best Linux tablet right now, since is the Jinkpad coming out next year?
it's soon, sometime. I remember watching the Learn Linux TV preview about it, and man, he was pretty excited about it, which got me really excited about it. So hopefully one of these
Even
days I'll have one.
I followed Brandon, like Tech Hut. He was also excited about this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's looking
So the
good.
tablet is where I try to test Auto CPU FRAC and TLP, but I got it secondhand, and the guy said that I can expect maybe 3 hours of watching movies on it under Windows, which was the same amount of time I could get under Linux. So me
Wow.
and my friend who trades in Surfaces and repairs them was surprised, because I mean he has a Surface Pro 7, so it's quite newer, but he said he can get like 8 or maybe 10 hours, and maybe not 10 hours. So he was surprised when I said maximum I could get was 3.5 hours.
Wow.
So maybe it's just because it's used or it's an older model. I'm not sure.
Yes,
The
my
I
battery.
should I should maybe put Windows back on it and run the test that way as
Yeah,
well.
and I think you can do battery stats on it as well and figure out how much the battery had been used. It might just be a battery that's worn out.
yeah.
So
So
the
it
thing
happened
about
with my Dell also. Same thing. Slowly the battery was like going dead. Now it's dead with hard disk failure.
Sad.
the thing about auto CPU frac is I think it pulls down the CPU speed to its lowest possible.
Right.
So it was like somewhere like 2000. It was pulled down to 800 per core.
Ooh.
And the UI, I'm using Arch with GNOME 40 because GNOME 40 is I think the best for touch screen, and it was very laggy. And even
Yeah.
the login, even when the session was starting up, it was very slow. So I figured, okay, if I want to watch a movie, I will turn it on. But if I'm just browsing or doing stuff, I'm going to turn it off because it will feel like a 10, 20-year-old machine or something.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, it
I
would.
think go for XFCE, man. You
Well,
can.
yeah.
XFCE is good, but I mean, kind of with the tablet, even before I got it, I decided I want to put Arch with GNOME on it because I can't really get into GNOME 40 on the desktop, but ever since I tried 40, GNOME 3 feels very dated. So, and GNOME 40 has really nice touch gestures, both on the touchpad and the touch screen. So I really like GNOME on the touch screen.
Oh,
And
just imagine it
also,
coming to Pop
I
OS.
like using Wayland because if I'm in a Wayland session and I want to drag a window to the side of the screen to snap it there, like tile it there, and you can do it with a mouse. And so when your mouse reaches the edge of the screen, and the one side of the window kind of disappears off screen. But if when I'm in an X session and I'm doing it with my finger, the edge of the window bumps into the edge of the screen, so X cannot do proper window tiling in GNOME when I'm using the touch screen. So, and the only ones I tried that have Wayland are Sway, GNOME, and Plasma, but I cannot get into Plasma still. I am trying though. I installed Endeavor with Plasma and I'm trying to customize it.
I will
But
say my favorite thing
for some
about.
reason
Go ahead.
I really don't for some reason I don't like how Plasma feels. Maybe it's just the Breeze theme, but even when I change the theme for some reason, I mean the settings menu is it has quite a lot of options, but for some reason Plasma is not very intuitive for me. Maybe it's just taste and you cannot really explain taste.
Yeah, what I've been doing with the settings menu is just typing what I want. Because looking is very difficult to do because it feels like things are so spread out that you can't find some things. So like if I wanted touchpad, I'm not even gonna look. I'm just gonna type in touch and find it. Same with
Okay,
mouse
one
and
more
same with
thing. The
display.
best Plasma distro I came across was Kubuntu. Amazing battery life apart from the Mate version.
But the other thing about Plasma is this. So Norbert, do you use global scaling at all in GNOME?
Uh, I tried on the surface. GNOME puts it to 20% by default. I tried 100%. It was very small. It's a high DPI screen. I tried fractional scaling, but the compositor didn't work properly. So I tried 100%, and you can set in GNOME tweaks the font size, and I set it to like 125%. It was more usable, but the UI was still small, and then I just kind of got used to the 20%. For some reason, when you open the app drawer, I'm not sure how it's called in Linux. Yeah, the icons are very small, and so the app drawer doesn't really look good. It doesn't really work properly on 20% scaling, but I just put everything I need to the dash, and I don't really open it, so
Yeah. So the
I
the
can
thing
work on
about
it.
Plasma is they have the best global scaling implementation of all of the desktops. Every single one of them. None of them can do it as good as Plasma. One thing that I didn't really get to talk about on Linux user space because we were running short on time is that I have a 1080p screen on a 14-inch laptop, and that's too. It seems to be just slightly too small for a 1080p. So I cranked it up to 125. And the one thing that I noticed on GNOME and other derivatives of GTK is that when you go fractional scaling, your graphics card has to work much, much harder for it to keep up. Everything seems slow. Minimization, moving
For me on
windows
the
around.
surface, it just rendered that native, I think native resolution, and the compositor just upscaled it and it looked blurry, so it didn't look
Oh,
good.
yeah, that
What
too.
processor?
Mine is a 5300U.
No, I'm
And
talking about Surface Pro. Surface.
Sorry,
this,
what's
Which processor on the Surface?
sorry, was
this
that again? Sorry,
the CPU
the
on
what?
the Surface Pro?
Yes.
It's an i5. I think it's maybe 6th gen.
Okay, yeah. So you're pretty close to what I've got in my laptop. So the same laptop running at 125 on Plasma is perfect. It's amazing, and I don't see any of the slowdown. I don't see. There might be some slight blurriness in some places, but overall, you don't notice it unless you're really looking. So I think it's the best. It's the best global scaling implementation. So if you might be able to get Plasma on that surface, if you're willing to try it out, you might want to give it a try and try
Does it
125 or
work well with
150%.
GTK apps also?
Oh yeah, of course. I run what is it? I run GNOME podcasts through Plasma. I run yeah, it's all there. It's all there. It works just fine.
What is this GNOME podcast?
It's a simple podcast application that it literally
Wait,
you give it an RSS feed and that's it. It handles it.
Okay.
Don't expect many features. It literally plays a podcast and that's it. It's the way that I make sure that so immediately after I post a show, I use GNOME Podcast to tell me that it's there. Other services take a little while to add them to their logs or their databases or whatever, but podcast is immediate. So that's what I used to test that with, and it works just fine.
Okay. So which kernel are you running, Leo?
On what?
Mint.
On Mint 511. On Arch it was 513, I think, whatever the current one was, I guess.
5.13.13 is the current one.
Yeah, that's probably what I was on, unless one of them came out recently.
And 5.14 is closing to release. They have entered RC phase.
All right, another one. That's cool. All right. Well,
Man, the kernel development is so fast, I can hardly keep up.
I know, that's why I let Arch do it for me.
No, I mean, once I upgrade to 5.13, I see that 5.14 is entering RC.
Oh yeah, they do the first RC pretty quickly, like a week after. I mean, it's the normal cadence. They do 7 or 8 RCs and then they release the kernel. Well, as long as everything looks good, I guess. But
Depends.
yeah, of course. I mean, Linus is the final okay, but
Authority.
it typically runs 7, 8, possibly 9 if things go wrong, RCs. And each RC comes out in a week. So RC1, week 1, RC2, week 2. That's usually how it goes, assuming everything is normal.
So support time is surprisingly short for regular kernel releases.
Yeah, and
6 months maybe.
But less than that. I have seen launches less than that, especially with now M1 support coming in. They will want to release new kernels as fast as possible, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, but then you have the long terms. I mean, just like 5.10, that's why Debian's on it. So those are 2 years by default, and then depending on whether or not they get commercial support to keep maintaining it, then they'll stretch it out 4, 6, 8, 10 years. Depends, I guess.
Actually, what I do is on Debian-based distros, I quickly switch to a custom kernel. Once I install Debian or Ubuntu LTS.
Yeah, if I need the new kernel, I would, but yeah, I think 5.10 is new enough for all of
No,
the hardware
I
that I
game
have.
right. I game a lot, so I use Zanmod for that mostly.
Oh, right. I got you. All right. Well,
Recently, I helped someone move to Linux, and we installed. It was Bullseye RC2, and something wasn't working right. And he said we should try to install Debian 10, and it wouldn't boot because the kernel was so old.
Oh,
That was
no.
that was when I realized that when I realized how slow Debian really is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
it
it
really
should
is.
be stable, right? For
I,
Ubuntu to
I,
build off it.
mhm.
If it
I use
works.
MX.
Yeah.
I use MX Linux for maybe 2 months or a month as a daily driver. I didn't really have issues with outdated packages because it has an ISO with it's a advanced hardware support ISO, so it had 5.10 by default. But I'm not sure if vanilla Debian is how well it's fit for be a desktop operating system
Maybe it can be
nowadays.
a great server operating
It is
system.
It is. Yeah.
it's the best server operating system. I haven't used any servers since I switched Linux, but I it's Debian and Ubuntu basically, right?
Yeah.
The most used one.
Well, yeah, I mean Red Hat as well, especially if you want support. They're going to be one of the top used distributions.
So Red Hat Enterprise Linux for enterprise and Fedora Workstation for desktop. Fedora like tests all the feature which go into Red Hat
Yeah.
eventually.
That's it. All right. Well, on that note, I guess we got to close down this live stream. We're coming up on 2 hours. So,
Okay.
Norbert, Nishant, thank y'all for joining me in
Did you
Discord.
record this? Will it be available?
What's that?
Did you record the Saturday?
YouTube stores it by default
Yeah.
as a video.
Yeah, give it, I don't know, 5-10 minutes and it should be available.
Okay, sure.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all. And for anybody that was watching live, thank you very much. Yeah, we'll see you again in a couple of weeks.
Sure. So this is bi-weekly as well, Saturdays.